Hey y'all, I'm back. Just wanted to do a quick video on some other things that were floating around, but if I had to put it on the last one, it would have been a bit long. So let's get right into it. Again, happy Friday. Thank you for coming to watch another YouTube video for WEIGO Podcast, aka What Else Is Going On Podcast, which you can find the audio version of the podcast episodes wherever it is you listen to your podcast. Y'all know the drill: Spotify, iTunes, all of that good stuff. Um, thank you to every single person, whether you've been here from the beginning, came somewhere in the middle, found me through somebody else. I just want to thank y'all so much for your support, for you watching the videos, for your views, for your likes, for your comments, for your shares, all of that. I just truly want to thank you for it. Y'all, am hot. I just drank a drink with I forget what the name of it is called, but in 2019, I think, or 2020, my old doctor told me about it because gut issues and stuff like that. And I forgot how good it worked. You know, stuff starts getting better, so you stop taking it. And I just ordered it again, but it makes you a little hot. The golden milk powder. It's off of Amazon. What's the name of the name of the company is like Turmaquick, Turmaquik, but it's golden milk powder. It has ginger, cinnamon, turmeric, black pepper, cardamom. Is that how you say it? And I don't want to sound silly saying curcumin, Carcumin, and you put half of a teaspoon in milk and warm it. And I forgot just how good that worked, but it also made me sweat a little bit. But so I did that so I can start drinking 8 ounces of that in the morning. Again, you can also add, I think, a teaspoon of honey to it. I did that before, but I ran out of honey. But yeah, it really helps with the digestion and all that stuff. And for those of you that told me about the dandelion tea, I did that and that helps as well. I've been having a cup of that in the morning too. So thank you for that suggestion. All right, let's get into it. So first up, let's talk about Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. So Angelina Jolie's daddy has come out, honey. This is according to Page Six. John Voight begs Brad Pitt to end nonsense with Angelina Jolie. Source argues winery lawsuit will protect the kids' inheritance. So you know that they're in a battle over their winery. John Voight put out a public plea to Brad Pitt to put a stop to the movie star's seemingly endless divorce battle with his daughter, Angelina Jolie. I wish that would be over. The 85-year-old told Fox News Digital, it's tough. I wish they would find a way to make peace. John Voight, who was once estranged from his daughter due in part to differing political views, added that he is concerned about how Pitt and Jolie's legal drama has affected his grandkids. The former couple, who have been legally single since 2019, share 6 children: Maddox 23, Pax 20, Zahara 19, Shiloh 18, and 16-year-old twins, Vivian and Knox. I think the kids need some stability, Voight said. I love the kids and I love my daughter, and I want Brad to step up too and do what he has to do and end this nonsense. Pitt's rep declined to comment on Voight's remarks, but a source close to the Fight Club star tells Page Six exclusively that Pitt is sticking to his guns in order to ultimately put more money in his kids' pockets. Jolie filed for divorce from Brad in 2016. Wow. It's been that long, 8 years, following a slew of disagreements, including a blowout fight on a plane that allegedly turned abusive. Pitt has never been criminally charged for any abuse claims, but a source close to the actor has said Brad admitted that his behavior on the plane was wrong. He took steps to improve himself. 5 years later, a judge awarded the exes joint legal custody in May 2021 and ordered the documents to be sealed. Following this order, the Salt Star declined to sell her. I'm sorry. Following this order, Angelina decided. Okay, so Angelina decided to sell her shares of her and Brad's Chateau Miraval, which was in conflict with how she and the Moneyball star agreed to distribute their assets. Shortly after, the ex's joint custody decision was overturned because of the judge's alleged ties to Pitt's attorneys, giving Jolie full-time custody of their children and Pitt only getting visitation rights. I didn't even realize that. The Troy star then sued Jolie for her stake in the winery in 2022. A source close to Brad exclusively emphasizes to Page Six Friday why the Miraval suit ultimately protects the Hollywood star's 6 children. It's important that people realize that Brad's motivation is to ensure that his kids can maximize the benefit of this asset. Once it is sold, that's no longer the case, and it significantly decreased their inheritance. Angelina's lawyers, meanwhile, have argued that Pitt's lawsuit was an alleged attempt to silence her due to her refusal to sign an NDA, which his team has denied, pointing out how the Gia star Oli once demanded NDAs of their own. Regardless of Brad's motives, it's evident the legal issues have put a strain on the Jolie Pitt family. The children have become estranged from their father over the years, which was most recently evidenced by Shiloh's decision to legally drop her dad's famous last name, which, by the way, she was granted. Also, when Pax suffered a terrifying e-bike accident last month that landed him in the ICU, an extremely concerned Pitt was iced out, as he reportedly has virtually no contact with any of his children. Angelina asked Brad last month to drop the winery lawsuit against her once and for all and end the fighting, while Angela again asked Mr. Pitt to end the fighting and finally put their family on a clear path toward healing. Unless Mr. Pitt withdraws his lawsuit, Angelina has no choice but to obtain the evidence necessary to prove his allegations wrong, her lawyer Paul Murphy told Page Six in July. A source close to Brad Pitt tells Page Six that the Miraval suit has always been a standard business dispute, and unfortunately, the other side chose to introduce unrelated personal matters in the case. First of all, I didn't realize it had been since 2016, and they're doing all this. Yeah, his children have no contact with him. I know that accident that Pax was it Pax that Pax was in, that they said he was iced out. I remember reading an article, and I had thought about talking about it, but basically that was just a number, one in the number of times that Pax has like hurt himself or gotten in trouble, and the kind of fear for his safety and kind of like mentally. So yeah, so that's a lot going on. I'm sure this is affecting them. I mean, you got them Shiloh legally changing her last name, so it's a lot going on. Her daddy said, "End it, Brad." Next up, so in the last video, we talked about Andy Cohen sending that video or FaceTime to Brandi Glanville, that Kate was a part of it. Well, Leah McSweeney, she was suing. Her lawyers have brought that video up. Let's get into it. This is according to Page Six. As ugly Andy Cohen video emerges, Leah McSweeney's lawyers say Bravo thinks it's above the law. Let's get into it. As reality giant Bravo dodges multiple allegations against it, an attorney for one of its former stars says that the network seems to think it's above the law. Leah McSweeney's lawyer, Gary Edelman, made the remarks to Page Six as video surfaced that shows McSweeney's former boss, Andy Cohen, inviting a then employee to watch him have sex, and as McSweeney filed new court papers defending her lawsuit against the network. Edelman says the fact that Cohen kept his job amid the video scandal buttresses McSweeney's case by showing that the network's executives really do not care about their employees. Brandi Glanville, who, like McSweeney, has appeared on several of Bravo Real Housewives shows, made a legal complaint in February about a video that Housewives executive producer Cohen sent to her by text message, in which he said he planned to have sex with Bravo star Kate Chastain of Below Deck. On Tuesday, the U.S. Sun published a video for the first time. Cohen apologized back in February for sending the video message and said it was clearly in jest. Bravo said it has investigated the incident, but Bravo said it uncovered no wrongdoing, and Cohen does not appear to have faced disciplinary action. Usually, if a person associated or employed with a company sent a video like that to one of his employees, he would be immediately terminated, Leah's lawyer told Page Six on Thursday. It buttresses our claims, because remember, this is Leah's people speaking out about the recent video. It buttresses our claims and sends the message that Bravo executives think that they're above the employment law and really do not care at all about their employees, especially the women who have made these shows successful. Meanwhile, Leah filed a response to Bravo's motion to dismiss McSweeney's February suit. in which she claimed that, among other things, producers of Real Housewives shows tried to get her to fall off the wagon in an attempt to drive up the show's ratings, and Cohen sexually harassed her by discussing her breast implants and her sexual history. Cohen has strenuously denied all of the allegations. In May, Bravo's attorney filed a motion to dismiss McSweeney's suit, calling her claims threadbare. And Andy's new court document stated that McSweeney's allegations are threadbare and arguing that her discrimination claims impermissibly seek to abridge defendants' First Amendment rights to tailor and adjust the messages the way they wish to convey in their creative works, including through cast selection and other creative decisions. In papers filed Wednesday and seen by Page Six, Leah's lawyers, Adam and Matz, wrote that the defendants, which include Bravo, Cohen, Andy Cohen, and Shed Media, a production company that makes the show, evidently believe that merely because they are in the business of filming and displaying reality television, the First Amendment provides them the unfettered right to discriminate against their employees. It added that if the argument were valid, then every employer in the entertainment industry would be permitted to engage in invidious discrimination against their employees, and that the First Amendment does not immunize them from liability simply because they claim to be in the business of creative expression. In other words, just because you're claiming this is your business, this is creative expression, it doesn't give you the right to discriminate against your employees. So it seems like Leah is still forging ahead with her lawsuit. I wonder, now that this video is out and Leah's lawyers have commented on it and filed new paperwork about it, will this cause some action for Andy? Even if it's for looks on, even if it's just for optics. Even if it's for optics only, will that cause them to do something? Because it's not like, okay, yes, the videos, we were told about the video in February and then released an apology, said it was done in jest. Now the video has leaked. We see it. And now Leah, who have already has a suit against the network, her people have come out and said, see, this is what we're talking about. So I wonder if for optics, again, Bravo will make some public moves with Andy. I guess we'll see. Moving on to lawsuits on a heavier of a note, this is according to the Jasmine brand. Breyonna Taylor, former Louisville officers involved in fatal raid, cleared of some charges. Judge rules her boyfriend firing back at police was her legal cause of death. Criminal charges against 2 officers connected to Breyonna Taylor's death have been dismissed in a federal court. Breyonna Taylor was powwowed and she was deceased in her apartment by Louisville police officers on March 13th, 2020. The officers involved were executing a no-knock warrant amid a narcotics investigation in the area. According to reports, when officers burst into the apartment, Breyonna Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, shot at police, thinking that they were being robbed. He has maintained that he never heard officers announce themselves before entering. Breyonna Taylor was unalived when police returned the fire with 32 shots. No drugs or money were found in her home. Former Louisville Metro Police Joshua James and Sergeant Kyle Meany were later charged amid claims that they falsified information in an affidavit that helped police get the warrant to begin with. So they've falsified information to get a warrant in the first place. They're also accused of creating a cover-up story after Breyonna's death. Joshua James and Kyle Meany were not present when the raid happened. They were charged with felonies for using a dangerous weapon to deprive Breyonna of her Fourth Amendment right to defend herself against unreasonable search. However, the U.S. District Court Judge Charles Simpson determined that Kenneth Walker's first pow was the legal cause of her death instead of the warrant that was issued. The ruling states the government has charged a Fourth Amendment violation based only on the alleged warrantless entry. Yet the fact allegations make clear that the execution team's post-midnight startling entry caused her boyfriend to open fire, which in turn prompted the return fire, which hit an unalived Taylor. The government has not explained how the lack of probable cause to enter created a foreseeable risk of a gunfire exchange. Read that again. The government has not explained how the lack of probable cause to enter created a foreseeable risk of gunfire in exchange. Had they not entered the premises, bust the door down, Breyonna's boyfriend, Kenneth, would not have been thinking that they were being robbed, which then in turn caused him to defend himself and Breyonna against who he thought were robbers. Taylor's death was proximately caused by the manner in which the warrant was executed. Walker's decision to open fire, as alleged and argued, was the natural and probable consequence of executing the warrant at 12:45 a.m. on an unsuspecting household. Still, Joshua James and Kyle Manny are facing other charges. I'm saying Manny, but it might be Meanies because it's spelled M-E-A-N-Y. I'll call him Meanie. Meanie is charged with one count of false statements to federal investigators and could get up to 5 years in prison. James is charged with 2 counts of falsification of records, conspiracy to falsify records, and witness tampering. He is facing up to 40 years in prison. So they're still facing charges, but the two about them basically being responsible for her death, they're not being charged with because the judge is basically saying Breyonna was unalive because her boyfriend fired at the officers when he thought he was being robbed because the police burst in with a no-knock warrant. It just, boy, I tell you. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Let's talk about Jennifer Lopez. We spoke about her filing for divorce. Jennifer, this is according to Radar Online, Jennifer is feeling like, Tina, my name. Just give me my name. Just give me my name. Back to plain old Jenny from the block. Lopez files to ditch Ben Affleck's surname and cites irreconcilable difference as reasons for split from grouchy actor. Now, that's what the headline says. Jennifer Lopez is going back to the block by issuing, in more ways than one, by issuing a request to dump Ben Affleck's last name after filing for divorce from the actor. RadarOnline.com can reveal JLO has asked the judge presiding over their split to change her name from Jennifer Lynn Affleck back to Jennifer Lynn Lopez. Sources close to the On the Floor singer indicated she initially took Affleck's last name because it was romantic and traditional. Court documents also revealed the singer, 55, cited irreconcilable differences as the main cause of their separation after only 2 years of marriage. Shortly after marrying 52-year-old Ben Affleck in July 2022, Lopez said, people are still going to call me Jennifer Lopez, but my legal name will be Mrs. Affleck because we're joined together. We're husband and wife. I'm proud of that. I don't think that's a problem. When asked by the reporter if she had ever considered having her husband take her name, she said, no, it's not traditional. According to the court documents, JLo also requested neither she nor Affleck be awarded spousal support. We know that Lopez filed for divorce on Tuesday, which happened to also be the second anniversary of their Georgia wedding ceremony. She filed in Los Angeles. According to the documents, JLo listed their official date of separation as April 26, 2024. Now, I feel like people shouldn't be judged for doing what they want to do. Sometimes I feel like we can judge their reasoning. I took my husband's last name. I didn't have a problem with it. I didn't feel like I had to. I talked to my daughters about it. They may or may not take their husband's last name. It just depends. I feel like if you don't want to, but you're doing it because it's the traditional, like you're only doing it to make others happy, then that might be an issue. I think it's something you and your partner discuss. And if you want to keep your last name, like discuss that before marriage. You know what I'm saying? Before, because some men get upset about it if you don't want to. But you have a right to not want to take their last name. JLo, you know, but for me, and her saying that it's traditional, it takes me back to her wanting the romance. She's in love with love. She's in love with the idea of the romance, all of that, the feelings of falling in love and married, you know? So, and the two become one. I think she's more in love with that sometimes than really understanding that once the newness and the honeymoon phase, if you will, and the wedding day is over and you're not looking forward to your first anniversary anymore because it's now 2, 3, 4. I think she doesn't consider that. And I think the romance is gone for her there when it's the everyday, when it's the day-to-day life. So now, for instance, for some couples, it may be money, but money is not their struggle, but it's other things, you know? And I don't think she considers that because she romanticizes marriage and relationships. And not saying that you shouldn't, but I also think that you shouldn't go into it as no fool either. You know, I feel like sometimes JLo has made a commitment to romance and not necessarily marriage, but it's her life. At the end of the day, if that's what you want to do, child, do it. It just, when the kids get involved, because it seems like she's close to his kids. Like she was just out last week with his son, just her son and his son and her shopping. And it's been said that Ben is close to her kids. So that's when it's like, it's just not about y'all two anymore. It's affecting other people, no matter who she, gets into a relationship with next. And if they have kids, so it's not just about them two. So child, Jenny said, give me my name back. I guess she don't want to be JF instead of JLo, Jennifer Affleck. Did Jennifer Garner change her last name? Would there be two Jennifer Afflecks walking around? I don't think she did. Well, she was still referred to as Garner, but maybe she changed it legally and we didn't know. I don't know. We'll see. Child, anyway, JLo said, give me my name back. Y'all, that's it. That's all I have for right now. Let me know what y'all think about Jenny from the block. Letting us know her last name, honey. She wants her last name back. She wants to go back to Jennifer Lynn Lopez. Let me know what y'all think about the court's decision to rule Breyonna's cause of death being because her boyfriend pow-powed back at the police. Like they ruled that as her legal cause of death. Let me know what y'all think about what Leah McSweeney's attorneys had to say about Andy's call to Brandy being leaked. And do y'all, in y'all's opinion, do y'all think that this may make Bravo do something for show with Andy? You know what I mean? Because everyone's talking about it. And Angelina Jolie's daddy told Brad, get it together. Brad said, I'm just trying to protect my kids. All right, y'all. Love y'all so much. And I will talk to you later. See ya.